Days 1 through 50 was only the beginning. Things change. This is the course of life. I was told to log into Minecraft after a work shift. Much time had passed and more surprises awaited me. This is the moment that everything began to slowly change. There's a lot to unpack in that frame of footage, but before we even get there, if this is your first time here, welcome. Think about hitting that subscribe button and check out some of the other Minecraft videos help building the segment of this lore that is being presented to you today. If you've been keeping up with these videos here on YouTube and all the little daily shorts that's been going on, you'll notice that you've been following along the journey of two different players, P001, who happens to be myself, and P002, whose identity will be revealed here in the future. The story so far has been very simple, clean, and fun-loving survival adventure, but this is where things take a turn. To better understand the tone and definition of what lies within this book, let's recap. Let's start at day 1. Well, technically it's day 0, but regardless, we spawned into a brand new world. We began to gather resources, wood, stone, the meats. You gotta have those meats. Long and night began to fall, we settled in a hole in the ground, and that's where all this originally started. Zombies invaded our home, and player, this guy right there, was slain by a zombie. That is P002. Once reborn into the world, he quickly came and lent aid in slaying the zombie horde. Thus together we survived in this hole in the ground. Now, if you weren't aware of this, you can head over to YouTube on my channel and check out the shorts and look at the descriptions to get like extra little bits of fun lore pieces that we've been coming up with to kind of help the idea of our realm seem cooler than what it actually is for a standard Minecraft realm between at least 2 players at this point. Moving forward to day 1, we ventured separately to gather more resources. I'm pretty sure he went spelunking. I don't know. Night seemed to draw quickly upon us because I was out there looking for like wood, getting some basic stone tools, and finding meats. And then I was trying to secure the hole in the ground's entrance when all of a sudden a creeper blew me up. It happens. Both players now have died at least once in this game, and we wanted to kind of make that a little bit more fun when we were describing these. When we talk about being reborn, it's kind of like just a mystical way of saying, hey, we just respawned. It all seems to be running extremely smoothly so far. And now we move into the sunrise of day 2. What's going to happen on day 2? Resource collection continues, obviously. Overhaul and more progress will be made onto the hole. I shaped the wood with my hands as my counterpart returned the ores. I got tongue-tied there for a little bit. Before we realized it, day 3 through 5 really just became a blur. It all ran together. We had a comfortable hole in the ground, but there was still more work to be done overall. There are ores in a massive cave system about 200 blocks away from where we settled in the hole. I dug a deep tunnel digging directly towards this massive cave system to make it kind of an easier access for me and my counterpart. By the closing of night 6, my companion was satisfied and went into hibernation mode. And when we say hibernation mode, what we really mean is we're logging off. We're done playing for the moment. And now here we are coming into day 7, and I had several goals. With iron, I made buckets, gathered water, wood, and seeds. You obviously know, I began to sow a wheat farm. Need that food, gotta have that bread. That's one of the biggest things. I began to sow a pumpkin farm, because maybe we'll make pumpkin pies. I began to sow a sugarcane farm. This was starting to really feel less like a hole in the ground and more like a little small farm by a hole in the ground. But a skeleton sniped me, and I died. And by the closing of day 9, there was plenty of little subtleties. A wheat farm, a pumpkin farm, sugarcane farm, and a little bit of secure fencing just to establish the hole in the ground. And I'll have to show you what it looks like on day 10, and I do. I actually recorded on day 10 the progress that was made for the hole in the ground. So here's the funny story. This was actually the first video I posted. Then I started making all those campfire shorts. I felt like I could just log into a creative world and just make like a little campfire and update it every single time I had a new note to add to kind of build the lore in the days between the videos that came out. So like, for instance, the day 10 update, the day 20 update, and so forth, that we'll see later on in this video. But for now, the first one, day 10, where I demonstrate the hole in the ground. I was at work at this time, so I couldn't really log onto my console, so I was like, okay, I'll just log on to Pocket Edition, make do, and give you just a basic tour of the hole in the ground, showing off the house. More or less, not really a house, but a little hub that leads into the stairwell and shows off the hole in the ground. Here we have little storage, 2 beds, basic equipment stands, and a stairway going down. So that's just an earlier glimpse at what this all looked like before the day 103 update with this new book mystery that we're going to be solving. So, quick recap as we go into day 11. You are now caught up with player 001, who is myself, and player 002, who is this guy right there, and we are surviving in a hole in the ground in Minecraft. From day 11, I had plans. We have to go mining. We need better ores. I need to dig down and go down to the mining levels, like -50 or so forth. Just make a straight tunnel down. Seemed a little problematic through it. Got shot by a skeleton. Got attacked by some zombies. I was alone. My friend wasn't here. And I was doing things basically what I had to do. However, when day 13 came, my companion would return. With it now being day 13 and this guy right there returning to the game, I was excited because I figured we could have a great adventure. But he left me at the hole in the ground to go exploring. From days 13 to 15, I decided, fine, I would task myself to work on an animal farm, have cows, sheep, or pigs, or something breedable to where we could have a better supply of meats. And I would accomplish this goal, I would do it, and by the end of, day 15, we would be logging off of the game. So, after day 15, we basically have our first moment of big change. Waking on day 16, Minecraft had updated. We now could use the spears and other new features that came. But also, this guy right there updated the realm settings to where we would have access to one single mod, the Tinker's Construct mod. With this mod, you could basically make an ultimate smeltery to fashion brand new tools, armors, and so forth that were more powerful than the basic Minecraft equipment was, which would be something we would be using to advance the progress of our realm, our builds, and other things that we had going on in this story. Thus, we come to day 20, the second update to the Hole in the Ground series. Day 20 is basically another progress show-off video where you get to kind of see more updates that were added onto my little base that we're calling the Hole in the Ground, essentially. You'll see the farm that I've worked on, the animal husbandry that I've begun creating at this time. You'll see a few small updates throughout the hole itself, but that's just basically the gist of the video, is giving you the idea and framework of things are progressing and things are moving along. And I switched to my console for this. I didn't want to do this on Pocket Edition. That was just a temporary thing, and it just didn't seem right for the recording and the further cementing of the series that's going on here. So as you can see, I've got a nice little farm going. I got some sheep in a little pen here with a little path going. Small little roots settled, nothing too crazy. Nice little start to the hole in the ground with berry farm, wheat farm, pumpkin, sugarcane. Got my doorway here, stairway leading down into the hole. Have nice little storage going on, the 2 beds. Nothing really too drastic has changed here for the most part. All looks fairly the same. And then I've started working my way down further deeper into the hole where we start with the Tinker's Construct setup area, where we'll be diving into this in the future context for the hole in the ground. But that still doesn't really explain how we got here. We've only been through 20 days of the hole in the ground lore, and there's no indication about P002, or otherwise known as this guy right there's sudden book memo that we've yet to dive into just yet. And I appreciate your guys' patience for bearing along with this lore video just a little bit longer, though. I know we're hitting that 10-minute marker, and if you're still with us and you're enjoying some Minecraft lore content, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you drop a comment down below. Just ask some questions, or maybe give some comments, or help inspire what might come in the future, even after this video is posted. So let's continue on with our recap. We're now diving into day 21. Now, I'd already made it ease of access down to go mining, so beyond day 21 and for a couple days, I wouldn't see much of the sun. I spent a lot of my time underground. There was a lot of necessary resources to start gathering in order to further the Tinker's Construct project. Within mind, I had to gather like gravel, sand, and some clay blocks, a bunch of other stuff like ores, iron, copper, gold, diamond, etc. I had to get riches. These riches would help fund whatever would come next for the hole in the ground. The sun would rise on day 25, and I think I was going to do things a little bit differently. I was done mining, I was done farming, I didn't want to build, so I ventured down and gathered some obsidian to open the portal to the nether, to lightly explore the blue forest inferno that I was looking at. Here I'm getting tongue-tied again. But at this point, I would require some rest and hibernation. When I came back to the hole in the ground, day 26 through 29 was about making the aesthetic look a little bit nicer. I wanted to build the campfire that you currently see here in these little campfire stories, but the hole in the ground version. And so I did just that. I even worked on the hole in the ground's workshop and smelter area, making it look a little bit cleaner, so that on day 30, when we did the tour, you could see. The realm saga of the hole in the ground, my little hole in the ground base establishment, was growing larger. I had put a lot of work into this house so far, and I was showing it off for you guys here on YouTube, being as vague as possible about this whole thing, not really giving a lot of clear answers, because this still is a mysterious project. I logged into the hole at day 30, staring at a mountain. It is a beautiful mountain. I don't think you've ever seen another mountain like it, but that's besides the point. Let's get on right down to the hole in the ground so you can check out the updates that's happened. As you can already visibly see from the corner up there, it's getting some structure. We got the campfire going on my left. We got the hole looking beautiful. Little roof on the entrance there. Nice little campfire. I wanted to go with the black stone just to give it some character, some definition, so we could tell our stories. Got a nice little wheat farm where we grow the wheat. That's what we use to breed our animals. A little pumpkin farm down here. Some berry farm. Got the sugar cane here on the left. Nice little 2 rows, that's plenty. Don't need much more than that, honestly. It's nice, looking very settled. Over here in the corner, we have our nether and nether storage little area. Very scary place. Don't recommend going in there. Haven't been much. Got some sheeps, got some cows. They chilling, doing cow sheep things. But let's go on down in the hole. Everybody wants to always see the hole in the ground. So we go down the staircase. Close the door behind us because you don't want nothing following you down here. Very tight space. Very dangerous. Very scary. And again, not too much has really changed here in this top little part of the area. Still, same setup with the 2 beds, 2 barrels, a little smelt area, little storage area. Come on down, we have the most change. Nice little expansion to the rooms, the tunnel to the ore section that I was telling you about earlier in the very opening segments of the campfire notes. Then we got our nice little smelter area for Tinker's Construct, basic level setup smelter, and then a staircase down to the mines where we end this tour. But hey, remember that mountain? Keep that in mind and don't forget about it. Now this is where the fun begins, because as of day 31, I left the hole in the ground. Yeah, I know. That's kind of a big shocker. But I left comfort and security to go exploring. On my travels, I would come to discover many great things that would help aid me in the future on my harvests. In these lands that I explored, and yes, I took a few maps so I could actually show you guys the lands that were explored. I discovered several new crops at a village. I found potatoes, beets, carrots, more wheat, and then I even found some Tinker's Construct plants. These were really cool. These were like little ore berry bushes that you could grow your own ores. I know, sounds crazy, sounds far-fetched, and you'll see that on day 40. They'll be outside the hole in the ground. I know I also kind of pushed all that info into one video, but that's because I was gone for a very long time. And thus, I present day 40, where you get another glimpse into the hole in the ground. Now, this video, of course, is going to open like every other video. Let us stare at this beautiful mountain. It's so glorious, so majestic, so perfect. How could you never want to stay at a cool mountain like that? Perhaps I should settle that mountain. But for now, I need to show you guys the hole in the ground. And I want to show you all the cool stuff that was actually found while I was exploring here throughout this whole world. I actually went off towards my left-hand side, way off, and just went into a big exploration. But before that, there's not much updates that went on here except for, well, the animal farm kind of got hit by a creeper, and I made this path a little bit longer. So, yeah, memories of a creeper, rip animals, such a beautiful dream, and I can't put dirt down correctly, apparently. That is life. Life is subject to change. There's a big hole there. I'll have to fix that at some point. And like I said, nothing really changed outside the hole in the ground for the most part, except me planting some potatoes and some carrots. Got some food going. Really starting to bring it all together. The roof on top of the hole looks good. We got a spider trapped up there. He's chilling. We are all going to name the spider Gerald. Then we have all of our Tinker's Construct berries just chilling out here. Diamond, copper, emerald, and gold. And I got iron ones too. I don't think those are planted out there, but I did find those. Moving down into the hole in the ground. Again, I don't think really much changed here, except I got a brewing stand, which is nice. It's pretty cool. Don't have any nether wart, can't brew potions. Something that needs to be worked on. Maybe in the future. We'll see. But coming on down, back down to the Tinker's Construct area, we got the map wall. Shows off the nice little area surrounding the hole in the ground and the continent that I'm sitting on. If this is even a continent, or what, it might just be like a little floating island. I don't know. Need to expand the map regions and kind of look into that a little bit more and kind of get a subject and bearings on the world that I hold myself in. Perhaps at a later date. Over here, not much has evolved for the Tinker's Construct station. Simple stuff. Everything's still kind of proceeding at the same rate on that side of things, which that'll be subject to change come day 50. And of course, a glimpse into the Stairway of Darkness. And like I said, epic things have occurred between days 41 and 49. Again, I piled everything into one video because it's basically covering the same subject. I spent a lot of time reading little manuals for Tinker's Construct. I wanted to fundamentally understand everything I had to understand about making the ultimate tools. I had to build a forge, which required me getting a lot of seared bricks and making kind of like a blast furnace in a way, and a control panel. It all relatively relates. You'll see it on day 50's update. I brought down all those berries that you saw up top because I'm like, why am I going to leave these in the open? I brought them into the hole. They are in the hole in the ground. Everything feels more secure. And I don't know when P002 or this guy right there is supposed to return at this point. So by day 50, I was prepared to present the final hole in the ground update because I had different plans for when I wanted to log back into Minecraft. I didn't want to really log back in until my companion, this guy right there, had returned. So as you can see, we open up in the same field, of course, staring at such a glorious, glorious mountain. Very beautiful. And then I will take you into the hole in the ground as usual. I'm carrying a spear because I feel very triumphant. For some reason, day 50, I felt accomplished in a lot of my goals. And I wanted that to be just presented. So for a small quick changelog, there's an indoor berry farm, the Tinker's Construct furnace room, and a few minor adjustments here and there throughout the world. I ended up having to fix the creeper explosion. That's taken care of. Solid progress. Didn't really do anything on that side yet, but I have plans to make a fishing dock there. Farm, relatively the same. Nothing's changed. Nothing really brand new, just a beautiful, small, glorious field of wheat. I like it. I love it. Got my campfire for storytelling. And I have a sign that says, "The hole in the ground." So let's dive on into it. So as we begin to descend deeper into the hole in the ground, you'll immediately start to notice there might be a few changes present. We currently have a armor stand display behind the bed showing the two different players of the world. I have upgraded a little bit of the things around here, added a carpentry table, a cartography table, a couple extra furnaces to smelt some stuff, and then coming on down here, we have our usual Tinker's Construct smeltery setup, but to take that one step even further, I've added another chamber to the left there to have the bigger furnace. This little hallway is the Tinker's Construct ore berries. Gather these berries, smelt the berries, make ores out of them. Pretty neat, cool little idea. Here we have the furnace area where we do our, grade 4 and above ores to smelt for the Tinker's Construct pack. And then a little map area, which I didn't actually fill in the top 2 maps, surprisingly, but that's where the village was over there. Should have got those down, but I ran out of resources and didn't get the maps done at the time. But basically, that's it for the hole in the ground as of day 50. So I took a day off from playing, and when I logged back in, I was told that there was a surprise waiting for me, and it's been advanced like 50 days. It was day 50 when I left. It's now day 103. I'm going around the hole in the ground, and there's nothing that's visibly noticed to be changed. I come on downstairs, and there's a random chest in the middle. Everything else seems to be basically the same. And then we find this book. This manuscript is entitled Farewell. It reads as follows. My most esteemed cousin, I write to you beneath the dim glow of a single torch and its flickering flame casting long, somber shadows across a humble earthen chamber we have so boldly called home. As I press quill to page, the very walls of the subterranean dwelling seem to tremble with the weight of the words I must impart. For though you have toiled with the strengths of 10 iron golems, deepening our noble pit and shaping it into the beginning of the future fit for kings, find myself beset by restless spirit that no bed, however well slept in and comfortable, can soothe. Cousin, I must depart. A fire burns within my heart, a yearning to want, to discover, to claim lands yet untouched by our ceaseless digging. Much like Christopher Columbus, I shall sail forth into an unknown biome, guided only by instinct, questionable cartography, and overwhelming confidence I have done nothing to earn. Cousin, do not misunderstand my intentions. There is no abandonment, no betrayal of sacred pact we forged when we first swung our pickaxes into this earth and declared, "This hole shall be ours." No, dear cousin, this is destiny calling me loudly with enthusiasm of a wandering trader who refuses to leave. I shall not settle too far, yet not too near, far enough to carve my own legacy, yet though enough I may sprint back in terror should anger an enderman by my mere existence. That's powerful. And so, with a trembling hand and a heart as heavy as a chest full of cobblestone, I bid you temporary farewell. May your crops grow tall, your tools remain unbroken, and your explosions be few. Should fate allow, we will return united upon the battlefield of progress. You and I in your magnificent pit, and I upon whatever questionable structure I create in the wild, I assume. Ever your cousin in life and lag, P002. P.S. Turn the page. P.S. Before my departure, I was visited by what I can only assume were ancient block spirits whispering through the stone. They spoke to me in a voice both thunderous and faint, saying, "Take his diamonds. He rarely uses them anyway." And who was I, humble a servant of fate, to deny such supernatural guidance? Thus, I have liberated several of your diamonds for spiritual safekeeping. Should you discover them missing, do not be troubled. They are with me, undergoing a sacred pilgrimage in my pocket. I promise to return them the moment the spirit permits it, or when you physically corner me, whichever comes first. P002. So not only has P002 abandoned me, but he also robbed my diamonds. And I'm even more shaken because I can't fathom what exactly has happened. And now I'm even looking off in the distance and I'm seeing something that wasn't here before. And I'm even more concerned now. Because can someone please explain to me, what the hell is this?